think you are, we live in a small world. As bad as you think you are, we live in a small world. As tough as you think you are, we live in a...
Oh, what that name?
Alright, that day will come when I stand and see all those wicked men and the fire getting burned. That day will come when they will try to escape and there will be nowhere to run. That day will come when I see their hands over bombs and planes and bullets and guns.
Shalom, shalom.
When Emperor Selassie and sunlight, they want to get to you them from out of Islam now. And the day I would love to see their face, or all those people they do to the human race, and try to take things out of place, run away to space, shoot them in the air. After one adjustment, you have to get the taste. When them find out that they can't escape, sadness they send on the people them trace. Smile on my face, that day will come when I stand and see all those wicked men and the fire getting burned. That day will come when they will try to escape and there will be nowhere to run. That day will come when I see their hands over bombs and bullets and bullets and guns. That day will come when Emperor Selassie and sunlight, they want to get to do them out of this land. Who do you think you are? We're living in a small world. As wicked as you think you are, we're living in a small world. As slick as you think you are, we're living in a small world. As tough as you think you are, we're living in a... The one that we have now, we tell them, escape today, you can't escape tomorrow. Make sure you pay back anytime you borrow. Make sure you don't live no life in a sorrow. Make sure you're not lean and straight like arrow. Make sure your friends you push out in a barrow. Make sure you make them walk out and borrow. Make sure your meditation and narrow. Judgment, everyone tell them some the other one. That day will come.
There we go. Shalom, shalom, shalom. We're going to get right into it. Natural, original way. Got a master with me today, y'all. Got a master with us today. You already know. Y'all don't know. Y'all gonna learn today. The Bweze Okoye.
How it be, bro?
Hey, man, beautiful, man. We on top. We on top. Still got the
champion style.
Champion style, baby. Still got that rock blowing through us. They still got that air and that wind in us. You know, still able to open up our mouth and say, I am that I am.
Oh, so you got the fire too with that air and that wind.
Ooh, see? Got that fire still, baby. So let's get it. Let's get it. You know, I had to get a master on here, you know, because, you know, I like people get different points of views. You see what I mean? But all truth, you know? And then the same thing with me, you know, iron sharpening iron. And, you know, that's heavy, you know, like our people is everybody like healing. It's one thing to heal naturally with your body, you know, and get naturally healed. And then it's another thing to heal your spirit. You see what I'm saying? You know, I was talking with my mom earlier and, you know, big up to Mom Dukes, big up to the family. You see what I mean? Sometimes you could think you'd be doing real well, but, you know, you need your family, you know, you need that mother. You need your mother, your father. You know, sometimes you gotta, the Bible say honor your mom and your dad all the days of your life. You see what I'm saying? And your family and stuff like that. We part of a tree. And what I kind of learned over the weekend hanging out with the family is that no matter how your family doing, how bad they're doing, you know, you're only strong as your weakest link sometimes. You see what I mean? And if we got weak links in our family, you can't turn your back. You see what I mean? You're still connected to that chain, you know? Till they rise up, we all rise up together.
It's like,
Mhm.
yeah. It's like you just said. You're only as strong as your weakest link, and if there are some perceived weak links in the family tree, you're right. It's our duty. That's why we probably came through the same blood to uplift that aspect, because it's really, as you uplift that, you uplift yourself. And if we look at it from that angle, um, ain't nobody losing. Ain't nobody losing. So it's really becomes our responsibility, if we know better, to do better, and to we don't force anyone into the way, because just like it took you and me time to awaken, it's going to take them time as well. But this awakening can happen physically, but also we have a spiritual power too. And like you said, the ruach and that breath can blow their way the winds of success, the winds of change, the winds of transformation, the winds of victory. And they can catch that wind, even if they think it comes from their own mind. It doesn't matter, as long as the change that you envision occurs, and that they live their life in a way where they drop the falsehood and return back to the truth. That's all that matters in the end. Bro, I can't hear you if you're speaking.
Okay. Oh, my fault. I gotta remember to hit that mic back on. Wow, that's it right there. And it was wonderful, man. It was wonderful to tap back in with that energy and see, like, like you say, we woke up, we came with that truth, and the truth is like, man, it's like seeds. It's really like seeds, and you got to look and give people time to grow.
Yeah. And you said something else that was key too about mother, right? And like, I don't know, I consider myself a Moor, right? I consider myself a Moor. And, when you look at the Moorish Empire, which is the hidden history here, especially in America, which is different from the United States, right? That's a whole nother chapter. I'm not going to go too deeply into that. But United States.
Now bring it out.
There's two nations within this land. One nation is the Moorish nation, as evidenced. If you look at your dollar bill, you got a dollar bill on you? I should have asked you beforehand. Let me see if I got one. I know where one is.
I got a 20.
Big baller.
Speak it. Speak it.
All right, so here we go. So what you see here? This is a $1 bill. What's see this? You see the one? Now, what do you see in between those? I mean, on the outsides of the one, you see this symbol, this seal, right? What's that?
That seal, that's not Solomon's seal, is it?
Well, just look at, what is this? You see this in Egypt.
Oh, the pyramid.
And then on this side, what do you see?
Is that the wings?
It's the bird of the
eagle
of the United States, the eagle.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So look, this is the only currency or fiat that contains two seals on its currency. The pyramid is ours. That's the Moors. This is the Europeans. That's the United States. And the one is trying to show that these two are connected. That's where the one's coming from. So you have the ancient with the modern, right? And that's really what's happening. So if we're dealing with the ancient, right, it's mother that was supreme. In Nigeria, where I'm from, the most popular name is Nneka. My sister's name is Nneka. You know what that means? Mother is supreme. Mother is supreme because she's the first teacher, right? She gives us our first stories. We're around her the most, so we mimic her, So she gives us our fundamental education that raises us up into who we are today. If mother is acting right, we're going to be right. So if you have the woman correct, that family's going to be correct. You understand? The family's going to be correct. And so if we want to uplift fallen humanity, we have to make sure that we protect the queens, protect the mothers. So men are sons. We're the sons, right? Of Ma, or Ma, mother, right? So the son of Ma is my son. And that's what Mason really is, right? The Masonic, we're the son of Ma. So we have to be soldiers in this. We have to be disciplined. We have to be soldierly and protect that feminine energy coming from mom so that she can bring down the energy, connect with the Most High, bring the teachings outwards, and, help the nation return to a place in a high position that we belong. Yeah.
All facts, man. Nasty.
Mm.
You know what? It's a big attack on the women. You see what I mean? It's a big attack on the mothers like that. And I'm finding it out now that the black woman, the Hebrew woman, she has that E gene, right? She's the only one that has that E, or she can make all colors because she got all different genes. I heard, right? Something. I got to study a little bit more on that, but I know the mother is up under attack, man. The woman is up under attack all over the world.
All over.
You see what I'm saying? All over.
Mm.
And man, that's crazy.
So that's why we got to be really, we have to be doubly protecting our heavens and our earth, as you wrote in the title, right? The earth, if we start with the earth is simply this physical body, this flesh, right? And whereas the heavens, so the flesh is what can be seen by the senses, the five senses, and then the heaven is that which only the heart can see, the one sense, and that heart ties into the brain, ties into the spirit. So, we have to be able to have both those in alignment. And, looking at the old sciences, the old medicine, they had mastery of how to strengthen the physical and how to empower the spiritual. The spiritual can only be empowered through the breath, right? If you're not dealing with breathing practices, I'm sorry, you're not dealing with spirituality. You might be dealing with dogma, you might be dealing with religion, but you're not touching spirituality. If you're not breathing, you don't have an ounce of spirituality inside of you. You can't get spirituality from reading books. You can't get them from listening to sermons. You can't get it from going to church. That's all dogma, that's religion, and that's cool, But if you're dealing with the spirit, you have to be dealing with the science of the breath. So one of the concerns is a lot of people who think themselves spiritual really are not. And so they're not feeding the spirit. And if the spirit's not being fed, it can't do its job properly, right? You're relying too much on the flesh, on the body, and earthly knowledge. But if you want to build the bridge to spiritual knowledge, you have to bring the science of breathing in.
You know what? And when you read Acts 10th chapter, it says Peter went on top of the mountain to meditate, and he went into a trance.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I mean? So he went on top of the roof.
Mm-hmm.
See, and when you see Leroy in The Last Dragon, he goes on top of the roof.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I mean? When you see anybody in the karate movies who's tapping into the air and tapping into controlling the wind, they go outside in nature and their breathing techniques. Moses went on top of that mountain to breathing techniques, fasting and cleaning his lungs out. Yeshua went on top of that mountain, breathing techniques in nature. Why don't they want us to know about our ancient spirituality and changing it all over to Christmas and pagan religion, and when it's real simple, all they got to do with All it is breathing. And matter of fact, you see the Ruach, which is the Ruach HaKadosh, which means Holy Spirit, which also in Hebrew means breath. You see what I'm saying? So the Holy Spirit really means breath.
You go,
So
bro.
I get it now what these satanic doctors are doing, because if we're 87% liquid beings, that's 87% liquid beings, like the right, some about 85% liquid, are, and every vegetable is 87% liquid. Our body should be equal with that so we can breathe. Like you got salt, sugar, you know, pharmakia, all of this stuff dries up your inside.
Yeah,
You see
yeah.
what I mean? Dries up your inside, making it harder for a person to breathe.
Not
Wow.
only
So
only that, just think of us in this pandemic right now, and what do we have all covering our faces all the time, right? So that's even disrupting your connection to your breath in some respects, and a lot of people are kind of fighting against the having to wear the whatever they call those things, those face guards, or those, what do they call those things? The masks, whatever they call them. But in a sense, symbolically, that's interrupting your breathing, right? Interrupting your connection to the spirit, right? In a way, it's symbolically, right? And the funny thing is that is not even a proven method to they don't even know. The top virologists of this land cannot give you 100% answer that will block a viral from entering your system, right? Even the guy they call the number one doctor over that field, Fauci, Dr. Fauci. I read an interview and he was asked directly by an interviewer, um, you know, are you 100% guaranteed to be protected from a virus by using these masks? And he said it's not 100%, but it gives you peace of mind that you're doing something. So even the top guy on Trump's task force for supposed to be protecting us, or at least providing information. He can't protect us. He's just can give information. He himself is not even sure that these so-called face masks can stop a viral, from penetrating into you. So, but again, all that aside, nothing prevents you from taking time throughout the day. Just how people take time aside to pray, to connect, to also to breathe deeply. Because, bro, the first and the last thing you're gonna do on this earth is gonna breathe. It's the first action we do. It's the very last action we do, right? And then if you look at it, if you just stack it up in terms of hierarchy, meaning order of importance, right? The top of the list has to be breath, because you can go quite a few days. You can go like a couple of weeks without eating food. You go far less without drinking water. But try to like go more than 3 or 4 minutes without breathing. See how long you're gonna last on this earth. So by order of hierarchy, the breath is the most important thing in preserving life that we have. And if your breath is challenged, meaning you don't know how to breathe deeply, you're not meditating, you're not doing qigong, you're not doing yoga, you're not doing practices where just deep breathing is encouraged, you are not optimizing the vehicle in which we are manifesting our consciousness through, which is the body, right? So that's heaven influencing earth, your spirit influencing your body. The bridge is the breath.
wow, that's deep, man. That's deep, man. And it seems like all the animals know this already. You see what I mean? All the prophets knew it. Me and you know it. You see what I mean? Like we curious. Like if you get any disease, I don't care if you get the flu, whatever. I don't care if you got cancer. I don't care if you guys clogged up with heart disease. If you drink some pure water and jog up a hill, you'll clear your body out from almost any disease. You see what
Right.
I'm saying? Because you opening up the lungs and you pushing and sweating it out and you speeding up the mechanism of your body. You see what I mean? You're making me and you know this. You see what I'm saying? The animals know this. Our people, we're being attacked from all different type of ways. I heard somebody say, Qigong is of the devil. Yoga is of the devil.
Yeah.
Jogging and working out is of the devil. I'm like, what in the world is going on with people? You see what I'm saying? Everything is of the devil, and then they go to the hospital and get pharmakia, which means poison, witchcraft, and sorcery.
Man,
So that is really weird to me.
but that's
You see what I mean?
a great point because um, imagine to call some. So there's an old ploy by the adversary, right? There's an old trick it uses, and one of the major trick bags that puts our people in is that if these teachings are not found within these, I don't know how many pages are in the whatever religion just book that they may be looking at, right? So if you're looking at the Bible, maybe there's 766 pages. Torah, I don't know how many pages in the Torah, the Holy Quran, I don't know how many pages, but if the people don't see it in the confines of this book, they think it's of the devil. But it's interesting because
but you know what? It is in that it is in the book.
In there, but people don't really know. People are illiterate, when it comes to reading those texts. I mean, really, if you really want to look into it, and this is for another topic on another day, perhaps, but those books are really teaching you how to read the heavens, right? So when you look at this word, Helios Biblios, right? Helios Biblios, that means the Holy Bible, right? And that really is talking about Sun book, the book of the sun, S-U-N, not S-O-N. And the Holy Quran means sun reader, right? So if people are looking at these books without having a connection to the heavens and the astrology that they're also bringing awareness of, you're not fully understanding that book. You're just looking at it as an earthly man, but there's a spiritual side, there's a heavenly side to these books. And a lot of confusion comes from people just looking at it as a material, as a human, and not as a divine being, right? Because as above, so below, as within, so without. So the courses of the heaven influence the courses of our earth life. And people are disconnected from that reality. And so they don't really have a firm reading. Like you said in what you said earlier about Peter went up to the mountain, right? That's symbolism, because the highest point of our body is the head, is the brain, right? Anytime you see in the Bible they talk about the throne of God, they're talking about the pineal gland. I don't know what people are, people can say what they want to say, but they put into trick box. But I'm here to just remove. I was once in that blind box too, and I took everything so literally. But then I started looking and seeing that they put things, they say it in the Bible, these things are in parables and allegory. Remember the disciples said, oh, you show these to the master, so you show us these things openly, right? Because before it was hidden, and because he was saying you weren't ready for the strong meat, so people have to understand that when they're reading their whatever scripture there is, there's always a side that's called esoteric, meaning kind of what we're talking about, the secrets and the meanings hidden behind the secrets. And then there's that exoteric, which is for the masses, right? And the masses go and they hear the preacher and they hear the word. They get pumped up, they get them amped up, but they don't really give them anything, where I'm not interested in that kind of thing anymore. I want the esoteric knowledge, which will help me to reveal the word, help me to remove the middleman so I can have a direct connection to my creator, without a middleman necessary.
That's wonderful, man. That's wonderful, because when you read that Bible also, and every single prophet in that Bible, they always tapped into the stars. Like Joseph, he was laying on his back, he's looking up. We didn't watch TV, you know what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
we watched the heavens. That the government don't want us to know. People don't know that our TV was the heavens, the stars. Yeshua came and said, I'm going to use the stars and the heavens for signs and wonders. You see what I mean? When they came and saw Jesus, the three wise men, the three Hebrew boys, they knew it was him because of the star that showed up. So
Exactly.
these constellations and these stars, I always wanted to know, like, why don't they teach us that stuff? You see what I mean? And they keep calling themselves the children of the sun and stuff like that, and then don't teach us nothing about those constellations and these star systems. You see
Yeah.
what I mean? And the full moon come out, you can feel that energy. When the full sun come out, you can feel that energy.
Yeah.
When we have eclipses, you can feel that energy. You see what I mean? For the ones that tapped out of their flesh, you see what I
Yeah.
mean? You can't
Yeah.
hide it from them. When these constellations show up, you can feel that energy. So it's like, what is it there? You see what I mean? I'm like, not one worship it or not like that, but
It's
it's it,
part of
that that's
part
a
of
part of. Mhm.
it's part of us as creation, right? So like, okay, we're talking in life, in all creation, there's many. All right, so when they talk about many mansions, right? Those mansions are the astrology, right? It's the stars up there. There's many of them, multitude. When they talk about the 12 disciples that followed the God man, those 12 disciples are also the 12 zodiac signs, right? From Aries to Taurus to Virgo to Scorpio, all those are representative of the 12. But if there's 12 signs that we're following, there's 12 within us, and those 12 represent those 12 cranial nerves in our brain, right? So when you talk about the elders that sat around the throne, if you double the 12, you have 24, and those are the 24 elders. The throne is the pineal gland, right? And those elders are given instruction. That's what those nerves do. They feed the information into the brain, right? So the Bible is so deep, but if you're looking at it from just flesh eyes, you're not going to be able to eat the meat of the word. You're just drinking the milk, and your understanding will go but so far. And one will know your conversation. One will know where you're at just by your conversation. Because some people will be saying, "Oh, that guy's talking about the devil now," and I'll be like, "Oh, you've just been hit by an operative, like in the Matrix." What was that guy called Smith? you know, there's a whole people who've been infected by Agent Smith, right there. You know what I mean? And you got to unscramble Neo to understand that it's really talking about you as the one. And how can the one return back to itself was through Morpheus, right? In that movie, wasn't it Morpheus? And Morpheus, the first couple of words or letters of Morpheus is more. You know, Morpheus is the god of the underworld, the subconscious, the spirit, right? And he had to help Neo, the one, which you are, awaken. you know.
Yo, you bringing it out, man. Shaniqua Mills put up. I don't even know that word. Do you know it?
Euphemisms, yeah. I think it's just kind of saying it's a way of saying that it's a aspect of speech, right? It's an aspect of speech that can mean one thing but it's really meaning another. But it's the way you say it can mean another. I think that's what it means. It's been a while since I've heard someone even use that word. It's beautiful.
Okay. Wow. And you know what? Originally the book was for the prophets and the priests and the people for the upper room.
Yeah.
Even the 12 disciples, when they first went up, they didn't know if it was good for them to be up there. They
Right.
went to the Holy of Holies, pineal gland. And like you said, we're all learning now, not everybody, but finding out we got 12 cranium nerves up there. Everybody don't have that, but they're saying that the Hebrews have that.
Well, we
Everybody don't.
just not active in everybody. They're
It's
not
not
active.
active, man. Okay. And then they saying Hebrews pineal gland supposed to be like this.
Mm.
You see what I mean? So the higher we supposed to be more able to tap in. You see what I mean? And I'm like, I always wonder, like, well, the government is against that so much. Why are they vaccinating these children and you know what I'm saying, uh, dumbing us down and stuff like that? And so you just woke me up to something. The prophecy was that when you see the lady crown, see, I don't know too much about astronomy, but I know in the year 2017 there was a constellations in the heavens. A lady was crowned with 12 stars. In Hebrew and in Africa, the face of God was called Orion's belt.
Mm.
That's the face of God, the three kings. When you look in the sky, you got those three kings, those three stars, Orion's belt. So you got to look. That was always called the face of God, the three kings, Orion's belt. And it could form like a lion, it could form like a bull, different constellations. And a 6,000 year prophecy constellation, John the Baptist wrote in Revelation, said in Revelations, when you get to this time and you see the lady crowned with 12 stars, that's gonna be the ending time. Yeah, and look what happened. To the end of 2017, the lady was crowned with 12 stars in the air. And I'm thinking anybody who got those 12 cranium nerves, everybody I'm hearing now who didn't wake up, wasn't original pre to wake up, everybody's saying they woke up since the year 2017. Ever since that constellation of the 12, when that lady was crowned, the Bible says it's going to be a wonder, and you're going to see that lady crowned with 12 stars and the moon and sun at her feet. That happened in 2017. Ever since that, the last little bit of remnant that wasn't woke, it seemed like they all woke now. You see what I mean? On a certain, from what I'm hearing from people, and they're like, "You're right, man. 2017." And I'm like, "Wow, they're not teaching us something." You see what I mean? They definitely don't want us to know.
It's not their job to teach us. That's why I was talking about Mother in the beginning. She's their first teacher, and it's she has to. So through the breast milk, Mother passes on the culture to the children, right? So so the mother produce, think of breast milk. It's not made with hands. It's a food made without hands.
And check this out. Right to go with what you're saying. I just left my mom and I was talking with my niece, and she was like, I was breastfeeding my baby. My baby was great, full of energy, wasn't getting sick for nothing. Yeah. Soon as I listened to somebody else rumor in their ear and stopped feeding her my breast milk and gave her that old, whatever they give you in the store, Enfamil or something. Yeah. She said the baby just started getting sick and going downhill.
Yeah.
Just to go on what you said right there. Wow.
Like that, man. It's like that. There's records in Africa that they would breastfeed children for 3-4 years. They would have nothing but breast milk. And it was purely nourishing them. Right. And so when you have a food so pure, because it's not created by, I don't know what stores you have out there, Publix or Wegmans or Safeway or anything like that. It's created by nature. That's God's milk. And it has everything that child needs to strengthen it. But not only that, it feeds the culture. It transmits the whole bloodline of the woman into the child. So you get that uploaded, and that gives you the download that you need in order to know what you got to do, how you got to be, and how you got to react to this earth, right? It's all in that milk. So once that transmission is given, the child's in tune with mother. And if mother's vibrating correctly, she's going to be helping that son or that daughter raise their vibration up. And it's going to be hard to take that child out of that bond, out of that connection. So when, they introduce things like vaccines or the formula that you talked about, or just the wrong foods, it interrupts that bond. And if you can interrupt the bond of mother and child, then you can put a wedge in that family. And if you can control a family, you can control a neighborhood. If you control a neighborhood, you control a community. If you can control a community, eventually you can control a whole nation. All right. So really, the beginning and end of the problem is helping mother do her job, her God-given job of nourishing and raising up these children. And they can't do it by themselves. We need to be a part of that as the soldiers, protecting her in her holy role.
Wow, man, that's deep, man. That's deep right there. The spirit is saying do that too, man. You know what I'm saying? The spirit is saying do that because, so much, when you're in the spirit and you don't want to be controlled, and you're hearing all these people saying, hate women and everybody's attacking a woman. You see what I mean? And it's like you're in the spirit. You got to look deep and say, what's really going on? You see what I mean? Yeah. What's really going on? She might be acting a fool, rebellion, but she's getting attacked from all angles. You see what I mean? She's the number one person up under attack, and whether we like it or not, women got to go back to our natural ways. You see what I mean? We got to protect mother. You see what I mean? I'm learning. If that's it, man, that is deep, bro.
Got to.
That's deep, man. That's deep.
Sons. Think about it, because when we came into being, meaning when we are conceived, every egg is feminine up to the 3rd month, right? It's within the 3rd month. After the 3rd month occurs, in the 4th month, that's when the sex of that child is going to be determined, the gender, whether it's going to be male, female, and it's the woman who determines that. It's the mother who determines that gender, because, like in nature, in nature, if they need more males, I just read something about bees. Bees, when they need to get the hive or the colony multiplied, they pull out, I don't remember what they're called, the worker bees, which are female, and they bring them in the presence of the queen bee, right? And then the other bees come around them, the workers, and some drones, which are the males, and they flap their wings, and you know how bees buzz, they make a sound, and that vibratory sound then changes the gender of those selected bees that were female, and they turn into male, and then they mate with the queen bee. Right? This is nature. This is the mysteries of nature. But that's just showing that there's a vibration. There's a spirit. Vibration is another way of saying spirituality, right? There's a vibratory force that they're bringing down to manifest the needs of whatever that colony needs, and that's what a woman does. Every egg is feminine. Every egg is female. But there becomes, if that family needs a male, if they need a son to be born, that woman somehow, some way, I don't know, I'm not female, so I don't know how it's done, but somehow in their thinking, in their prayers, in their mind, conscious or not, they change the sex of that egg, and it becomes male in the 2nd trimester or the 4th month. Right? It's deep. It's deep. I don't know how it happens. All I know is I accept it. That's the wonders of God.
It's definitely deep, man. I'm learning something today. My niece showed me that. I always heard. I think I heard it back in the day too. Like, men is dominant, but they got more. I guess they got 5 genes. We got 4 or something. I know they got that E gene to make all flavors. The black woman, the African black woman, supposed to have all the genes.
Yeah, that's because they created everything that comes as present in this world comes from us. It's dominant genes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have dominant and recessive. I remember learning my biology classes back in Brockport back in the days, right? So you have dominant genes and recessive genes. So the Moorish family are all dominant genes. So you can put a Moor and a Moor, and they can create everything, right? Under the sun, whatever ethnicity you want to look at. Whereas if you have 2 recessive genes, they're just going to produce recessive people, right? Yeah. So that's
learning.
They need to. So if you want a recessive gene to continue staying in the gene pool, they have to mate with dominant gene people, and that's just the truth, That's just the truth.
Hard truth there, y'all. That's some hard truth there, man. Wow.
Yeah.
Some people already knew it, but I like to hear it with facts, man.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Just look at something like this. If you look at all the royals in Europe, right?
Mm-hmm.
The kings, the queens, the princesses and princes and such. You look at whether it doesn't matter if it's Germany we're talking or Scotland, where we're talking. If you look back at or England, you look back at their royal seals, right? Meaning, how kings and queens have coat of arms, right? They crests. If you look back at their royal crest, they call this heraldry. If you look at their crest and their coat of arms and their seals, you're always going to find Moors, right? I wish if I knew the conversation would have gone into that direction, we could pull up Germany's royal. You're going to see Moors. But how is this blackface? quote unquote blackface on this European. Like, why is this their most holy, symbols? Because that was us in one particular time, right? And they all know that. The secret is like we ran over Europe. Europe was ours, right? Europe was ours. We had, if you look at like Shakespeare, he has a book called Othello he wrote. And in Othello, you get a lot of information about the Moors, right? And they were high society in armor, the knights. This is a history that people really don't know about, right? So just how we've been shielded from the reality of our health, we've been shielded from the reality of our history. We really don't know what our history is, and that's why we can always be put into the trick bag, because we don't really know who we are, and we don't know our presence upon this earth, But if we knew our presence, we know that we've been given the herbs as meat to eat. All the herb-bearing fruit trees, the fruits and the herbs, meaning the offspring of fruits, the offspring of trees or plants, which are seeds, nuts, fruits, the vegetable kingdom. That is supposed to be our meat, and
that's it, man. I've been getting I ain't eaten meat in so long, but then lately the pecans, you see what I'm saying? I've been finding out a lot of I've been eating pecans and stuff like that and get a little bit more power and stuff like that. But the Bible talk about us returning to the wilderness and being healed from all things. You see what I mean? And talk about using the herbs and the leaves so be the healing of the nations. Right. So even though they're doing all this stuff to us, a simple trip to the wilderness. You see what I mean? So I'm just trying to tap back in, because we really have to break this Bible down. Like, if some people to really have deep understanding, but it's really simple. You see what I mean? Because it's really simple, because the animals know it. You see what I mean? The animals know it. So they know that you go back to nature.
Yeah.
And that talks about that wilderness. Somebody sent me this right here, this picture here. And let's see if I can grab it real quick. It talks about in Hebrew, when we was in Africa or anywhere, even I'm hearing about the Americas being the promised land, and we was here first. And like you said, this is not called they call it the United States, but it really was 2 different countries, or Turtle Island, and 12 different tribes here, stuff like that. The original, they got pyramids in Mexico older than the ones in Giza.
Yes, because they don't understand. When I'm talking to history, there was a time when everything was connected. This whole landmass was one, right? And then cultures remembered that, and they kept that connection. So if you look at the Mississippi River and cities around that river, you see Memphis, right? But there's a Memphis over here, but there's a Memphis in what they call Egypt too. If you go to the Grand Canyon, why does the Grand Canyon have quote unquote Egyptian hieroglyphs carved in it, right? There's a reason, because these 2 places were one, so we've lost that connection. That was a time when they called this area of land Amexem. They didn't call it America, they called it Amexem. That's an older name. You look it in the history books, you'll see it. Amexem. And they also called this place the Maghreb, and that means the extreme west, right? So Africa, the extreme west, was the Maghreb. So this land was seen as connected to the empire, right? But that's a history that's hidden.
Ooh, man, it's coming out. It's coming out, man.
So like that's what we get into there. And when we look at it from that perspective, medicine as we see it today, whether you call it Chinese medicine or Ayurvedic medicine or various medicine cultures from around the world, right? We didn't have medicine the way it's set up today because we didn't really have diseases the way we have them today, right? The main source of our medicine was our food, right? What you have on your plate.
Hallelujah. My dad always said, you either eat to live or you eating to die.
That's it, bro.
See, and we look at all our people out here. The ones that's eating to die, you can tell.
And
It's
so
so sad, you know what I mean? You can tell. When it's time for the brother, we're gonna have to return back to wilderness and back to nature, then he don't make no mistakes. That's common sense, but everybody don't have it.
yeah,
But I think they really do. We just got to tap back into wilderness and nature. These people did a great number on us with the artificial food, which makes you an artificial brain.
yeah,
It's real simple. The more I got out of artificial foods, the more I turned back into a pure natural brain, and
yes.
I was able to tap into the higher powers,
Which is
um,
hearing from the elders.
which is hearing from the elders, right? And
Don't need
look
cranial nerves,
the
right?
cranium nerves, and I was when the more I purified my body, the more I was able to hear from the elders and get visions and stuff like that. Then somebody hit me with this 2 days ago. He said, "I like what you said about the elders, but in Africa, the elders were this. This is what they called the elders. You see, the 24 elders. See,
Mm.
24 elders. So they saying
Can you blow
there's
that up?
I can't really blow it up. I don't know how. But
Okay.
next time
Maybe you can just read them off. I see fire.
okay, yeah, they said we have an angel called Debriel, and that represents fire.
Mm.
Raviel, wind. Machiel, mountains.
Mm.
Ebidel, rocks. Yasau, thunder. Kahudal, trees. Barakal, rain.
Mm.
Rajel, hills. Pond, rivers. Abriel, clouds. Amhiel, dew. Rochastal, grass.
Uh,
Sarachal, oceans.
uh,
Ariel, sun.
mm.
Kayal, fountains. Shamil, animals. Chafitiel, fruit of trees. Emethiel, moon. Adiel, calendar. Chadasashel, springtime. Osherel, summer. Gabriel, fall.
Mm.
Shabiel, winter.
Check that
You
out. But
see,
see what you're seeing there. So that
Mhm.
Hebrew,
all nature.
whenever you put L at the end of something, you
That means
have
the Most High.
that means God, right?
Yes.
And when they say in that, don't get me, because I know you got some people who are scholars out there. I don't know my Bible like that anymore, but I do know that something they say, let us make man in our own image.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at it in the Hebrew, that word is El or Elohim. And the Elohim, because Elohim is plural, right? For the Eloah singular, Elohim. And you just read a whole bunch of L's. And that L is God, just like when you see the word angel, calling forth the angels of God, the angels of heaven. Those are aspects of light or the Most High, right? That's where, in astrology, you have the word angle, and these planets hit you at different angles. Those are the angels in the Bible. Those are ways that light moves. The angles that light moves in, those particular aspects, those are the angels in the Bible, right? And those EL names, or will be considered angels or angelic forces. And I don't remember what book it is, but there's a book. It's I don't think it's Psalms. It might be Psalms or Proverbs or something. But there's a whole bunch of those L's in that book, and in that, from those names, those holy names, people used to chant those names, right? And they will call the light or the angle or the angel to them. So the one for thunder, maybe you have something that needs to be broken up inside of you. And you need that angel that brings the thunder out to like break up that cyst, break up that tumor, break up whatever, you see. Maybe you're in a position where you have a lot of poverty in your life and you don't have enough to eat. Maybe you got to spend money for the bills to fix the car, pay the rent, and so then you can just go ahead and start chanting the name for the one that brings the fruits, and that can help to nourish your digestive system, or send the energy out so that you can get the resources so that you can have the fruits come in, right? So these are things that people can do. I think they used to call them the Enochian angels from the book of Enoch, right? These Enochian angelic forces. But that's part of the heavens. That's part of the spirituality. That's part of the power that we have within us. And nature is us, right? Just as you read there, you said some had the rain, some had the fire, the sun, some had the winds, some had the water, right? They
and you know what? I love my people and my Christians, but I think that religion got them a little bit to have common sense sometimes. Or they gotta be you gotta be careful. I respect them because you got witches and different type of I guess there's other type of devil worshiping and stuff like that you can get caught up into. But learning Hebrew and just learning all them words was just natural words, and they all were natural things. You see what I mean? He's a natural guy. He's a spirit. So if he created all those 24 natural elders, and we're made in the image of him, then we have power over all of these things, people.
Exactly. We're supposed to.
Yeshua came.
We have dominion. We have dominion over them. We have dominion. People don't understand what dominion even means. That's why they're so scared. They're so scared of who they are because someone has put that in their head. We're just talking natural forces. Was it not me and you back in upstate New York? We called upon the power of the hills. We didn't know what we were doing. And we cleansed ourselves up and out. I'm talking all marijuana, all the St. Ives 22s that we, how we used to get down.
100%. We called on the, you know what? Just like you said right there, man, the hills.
Yes.
You see what I mean?
I saw
the hills. Rajel.
Mm-hmm.
Rajel. You see what I mean? We didn't know we was young rookies.
Right.
But we knew that we can hit Rajel. See, I like to say stuff in Hebrew. Once I learn Hebrew, that's it. I'm about to learn every single one of them words in Hebrew. So if I'm going to start learning stuff, I love to learn what we regularly learn. Yeah. So I want to take away from my mother tongue, Hebrew. I want to get it back. And what do you know about Latin? Because my wife, she's Latino, and when I get around her family, they everything is Carmen Ya or Maria. Everything got a Ya in it. Her name is Carmen Ya. You see what I mean? And I'm like, that's the name of the Most High, Yah. Hallelujah. Carmen, Yah. This, Yah. And I'm like, is that Latin pretty close to Hebrew or something?
So here's the thing. Now you're coming up, man, because so that Latin is Moorish tongue, right? What they call the Romance language. It's not only like the Romans, right? They were taught that language. They mimicked that language from us because, truth be told, Europeans didn't really have very strong language skills until they met us, right? We gave them education. They didn't really have philosophy. It was Socrates and Aristotle and these kind of guys who came into, and Pythagoras. They came into Kemet. They came into Egypt. They learned, and then they returned back to Greece, and then they began the university systems in Greece. Before them, they didn't have any of those. They had to send their men into Kemet, into Africa. They received the knowledge, and then they came back to where they were, and they built up Greece, which built up Rome, which built up this Western world, right? But prior to that, they came home. The original teachings are with mother, right? So not just mother in the flesh, but mother of nations. And what I'm suggesting to the audience, you really haven't heard the teachings from mother, and that's why you're so afraid of you're afraid of yourself, because who taught you to be afraid of yourself is the people. That's the ploy, because if you're scared of your own nature, you're gonna always be dominated. You're not gonna use the power of dominion. You're always gonna be under domination and submission, right? And I'm a soldier. Can't be submitted. You can't never tap me out. I'd rather die before I get tapped. But I'm home with.
That's what I'm talking about.
Home with Africa. I'm home with mother. I'm okay with mother. Some of y'all are on the fake breast. You're sucking artificial milk, right? And it's got your brain twisted, and you're not listening to your elders. You don't even know how to approach the throne, right? I'm not
Wow, you bringing it hard.
So That's what we got to do. We got to be. And so this is just simply teaching for those with ears, let them hear. Those with ears to hear, let them hear. And the way we come back home, one is through the spirit, through the breathing techniques. Secondly, you're gonna have to clean up your diet, to clean up your ways. You gotta have to, like you said, enter that wilderness. Like, do you know what plants are growing in your vicinity? What herbs are growing wildly? Most likely they have a lot of medicine that can help break a lot of chains of disease right off you and your family. But if you don't know and you're running to the pharmaceuticals, right? I mean, how crazy is it? God has all these plants growing around us freely, and we stepping over them to run to the supermarket for artificial foods, right? Artificial dyes and artificial colorings and artificial seeds. You know what I mean? Destroying the original, destroying the natural. But the thing that can take care of anything unnatural within us is growing all around us in abundance, and we're just stepping over it clumsily, you know?
Oh man, my brother here, brother Dave Dawad Magan Therapeutics.
Mhm.
He coming with some hard facts. You see, I might need to bring him on for a couple seconds. Let him break down some of this stuff, because look what you doing. Anything he's saying here about the midbar nature and order. Mosai took the. Is that Mosai? Does that mean Moses?
I don't know.
Midbar nature and order. Mosai took the people into Midbar. And then he says this here. Those are the Orissa, aka Select Consciousness Elders. Indeed, those elders that we put up.
Orisha, maybe he means Orisha, yeah, and that's true. That's what he's very correct in that the Orishas, they call that in the Yoruba land in Nigeria, right? We call that Alusis in Igbo land in Nigeria. They're saying 24 elders, right? The Hindu, or let me say correctly, the Dravidians, which are the quote unquote, they look like us in complexion before the Hindus came and conquered. Dravidians, when it was all us, right? They called those the devas, and they were all feminine, but those were the elders, right? So that's what I'm saying. The whole ancient world was built off a matriarchal system. The deities were feminine. Allah used to be a feminine deity up to into modern days. Allah, who the Islamic people you pray to, was a feminine energy. It wasn't a masculine energy like today. So we're in a whole different stream of consciousness now. They flipped the history, they flipped the education. We don't know who we are anymore, you know.
You know, the wisdom of Solomon.
Mm.
He speaks about wisdom. He was in love with her. That was his baby. He talked about her like it was his girlfriend. And he was the wisest one of them. You see, so those prophets and the priests, they talked about wisdom, the female, the Holy Spirit, the Ruach, the mother. They talked about her like they was their wife. And the wisdom of Solomon says that the creator of the world, the masculine, he doesn't deal with nobody on this earth unless they got mother.
Yeah.
See, so I can see how mother on this earth is Mother Earth. If you ain't got the Ruach, which is Mother Earth, if you ain't got her, the Most High not dealing with you, according to the wisdom of Solomon.
Mm. And
See?
Solomon really just means soul of man. It's a code. Solomon is the soul of man, soul of man. That's who Solomon really is. And so we're the temple of Solomon, right? This body is the temple of soul of man, right? And so that's, how do you understand how to get into the body? You have to tap into that feminine energy, right? That feminine energy is what taps you in. Like I said, it's amazing how the mother can perceive everything that the baby needs without the baby speaking words. Right? It just has through the mother's feelings can detect the conversation that the child. They have this telepathic thing going on. Is that not like what we do when we're praying to God? We're expecting that same reception of our prayers, of our desires, of our wants and needs, right? It's the feminine aspect of God that receives that. it's the masculine aspect of God that delivers, you know. So that's kind of what we're looking at. And we are man, we have male, female within us. That's the individuality, right? Indivisible duality, right? We have a duality that's male, female, gender. You can call it yin yang if you're in another culture. It's all one culture. That's what I'm trying to show. Like, people are thinking they're different things. It's the same culture. We're just not recognizing it. And then if you're into religion too tough, too tight, you're going to be stiff-necked to see that these different orders are really reflecting the one truth, right? Like I was building with some Moors the other day, and they were talking about the pyramid has thousands of bricks at the bottom, right? And as you rise up, those bricks get less and less, and to the very top, it's only one. So it's almost as if out of one comes the many, right? And that's really what it's all about. And even if you take a look at that, if you look at the pyramid on our body, this is the pyramid of the body. This nose.
Man, check this out. You about to start breaking stuff in half.
Mm.
You see here? My bro showed me this already. Everybody got that Y. See how that comes down? See how this spells Yah? See that? See that opens up to the A?
Go.
See that goes to the Y? Yeah. Y, A. And then they send this here H.
Wow.
I just heard it, that's Yah. You know, and then I'm hearing, you know, you're breathing. You see what I mean? Yeah. So you gotta, the more you unclog your breathing, which is the Rawak, which is air, you see what I mean? You get in tune more with the 12 elders, which are the all natural elements. That's why all the prophets said this power comes only through fasting, because fasting clears all your lungs, all the trash out your body, so you can breathe and to receive more Rawak. Religion, oh my goodness. That's why I say it's simple, but at the same time, it's deep, because some people are so indoctrinated and scared really to tap into who they are.
Yeah.
And he put up here, Orisha are selected consciousness that you have the power to activate according to your needs, hence the elders. Exactly. And a lot of the prophets talked about that. Even Paul said, even my conscience bear witness. Even he said, I'm in the spirit, and even my conscience is in the spirit of the Holy Spirit. You see what I'm saying? So you got to have I always talk about, you got to holy. I heard somebody say the Holy Spirit consciousness. You see what I'm saying? And to activate that, it comes through the spirit. You know, and Wisdom of Solomon says the Most High don't love nobody unless they have the Holy Rawak first. So if he's not, if he don't see, if you're on this Mother Earth and she's not up on you, accepting you, then he can't back you to do the superpower things. You see what I'm saying? So you gotta have her. You gotta have her locked in. You gotta be worthy for her to sit on you first. People want to call on Father, but you gotta have his baby first.
Yeah.
See? Yeah. And if she don't see you as a son,
she don't sign.
She don't sign you in. So you gotta walk as a son to mother. Once she see her baby, she come on you. Once the Most High see that, where my baby at? Oh, she taking care of baby. He gonna come and be that protector.
Right.
See? I'm starting to get this stuff, man. I'm starting to get it. They got us scared and spooked to tap into our African brothers who straight from the Egyptian, Nigeria, the straight from there, who know the pure language.
We know
They got Indians here right in this country who they separated in resurrection. They got them in these resorts and stuff. And if you take a chance to tap in and talk with them, they know how to take their shoes off and take their clothes off and lay on the belly of the ground and feel the vibrations of the earth that we read was one of the angels. Yes. See, one thing about an Indian, they play with all 24 elders. They know about all 24 elders. It's just coming to me now. You see what I'm saying? They're masters at that. And the last people that's made in the image, we're the last tribe. I guess the one thing they say that's evident is Judah. Judah, that's supposed to be the Negroes. You know what I mean? And we're the last ones, kind of like to wake up, but we went through it the most too. To be hung on trees and to watch to come from slavery, you had to act dumb to be alive. See what I mean? If the master found out you could read, you get killed. You see what I mean? So everybody got the spirit of acting dumb. See what I'm saying? We all know this stuff, but the spirit of satanic witchcraft is all over us so much, which it's understandable. You watch your family get killed for being able to learn how to read, so of course you want to act dumb. Yeah, master, I'm a coon. I don't know nothing, master. I'm dumb as hell. So that's what you had to do to stay alive. You see what I'm saying? But now that spirit is still on us years later. Now they only give us certain knowledge. We acted dumb so long and birthed kids from acting, we had to do that to stay alive through slavery, 400 years.
Yeah.
But that stuff is out and I can see the chains being broke. So this type of knowledge is coming right on time. I'm not scared. I'm in the Holy Spirit. So I know if something right or wrong.
Yeah,
And I'm hearing,
discern it.
huh?
You discern it.
I can discern it.
It's
I
not
can
that
discern it.
not pastor told me this or I read this in your heart. If you're free, meaning not in bondage, right? If you're not in spiritual bondage, you know what I'm speaking is 100% truth. I'm not trying to gas myself up. I'm not trying to pat myself on the back. Like I said, I used to walk in that ignorant walk, and I was totally afraid of my culture, myself, who I am, and our teachings. You said earlier today, which I think was the keyest phrase, honor the ways of thy mother and thy father, so your days shall be long, right? But we're not honoring mother and father's ways. We're too busy saying it's devil and this and demonic that. But if you look at it, you call it for what you want. But them people lived a long time and were prosperous. They ruled the earth. We're living short time.
Wow, bro. I'm glad you said that, man. I'm glad you said that. Every once in a while, I got to tap in, man, because I don't want to forget no bar.
Yes.
When you said that, my granddad lived to be 117. Guess what? He didn't go to no school on earth. He didn't know 1+1. Well, he know basic stuff that they pass on. So he knew mathematics. He knew stuff, but he knew nothing from their school. He lived to be 117.
Yes.
Never been in a hospital before in his life. All he knew was the 24 elders. See what I'm saying? He wasn't brought over here from the slave ships like our blood. You see what I'm saying? His blood, my originals down south, they already been here. You see what I mean? They was part of Turtle Island, the 12 tribes here, Bigfoot, Blackfoot, Cherokee Indian. They knew who they were. My grandmother already told me. You see what I'm saying? So I already know who we are from the people that was here.
Yeah.
They bring some other ones here 400 years ago, and we kind of multiplied too. But there was a lot that was here. And the ones that was here all lived to be 120, 117, 118, 119. And that's why I learned how to do a lot of healing for them, because like they used to eat onions like apples. And I used to, you can do that? You know what I mean? I know you can do that. I'm from New York. Come down. You see? And they used to follow the star. And they remember how Psalms of David, see how David made so many Psalms? When I was young at 5, 6, 7, and 8, it was nothing but songs. If you get left in the west, then follow it was a rhythm to get back. Follow the star to get too far. I forget them all, but if the snake bites you here, then root from there. We have rhymes to heal everything, like Psalms and stuff. And and it was all to do with the elders that I'm just learning about. It's taking me back now, like, And that, like you keep saying, remember in Mortimer, we was coming up with all them songs, and we were having sinners. We was putting all the ways to heal and natural stuff in our songs. And I think we need to get back to that. You see what I mean? Because it's with rhythm, already, coming from Africa, they put everything into a rhyme, into a proverb, and make it easy for you to learn.
Right.
Easy for you to learn. And my granddad, they knew all of that. Come on, Harriet Tubman went back and forth from Alabama, Montgomery to Rochester Underground Railroad 12 times. My granddad did it. My granddad did it twice, reading songs. North Star, get you far. Yeah, you see, songs. They had all the songs, and they just once more TV came and more programming came, and it came with that Tuskegee project, and it kind of just tapped us out of it.
Yeah.
But
that's the power to get back in it is rhythm, which is getting back into your vibration, which is getting back into your power. So you have ways you can enter rhythm. Rhythmic movement is what we call qigong or yoga, right? And that's how you restore your energy. You restore it because there's ways you can move your body that can heal, and there's ways you can move your body that can harm. So if you want to put yourself on a healing vibration, healing frequency, healing rhythm, there's That's what the Qigong is, right? Or that's, if you don't like that word, call it yoga. Oh, you don't like that word, call it exercise. I don't care. Nobody can deny the exercise.
Amen. Hallelujah, bro. And when you do Qigong, which is nothing but a breathing exercise, nobody got to teach you. Everybody body does his own Qigong. Stop looking at something.
Yes.
Qigong is just make your body stretch that way. Make your body stretch that way. Breathe and exhale while you do stuff. You see what I'm saying? That's what. And when I turned on when I turned on music and did Qigong, I went into what you call holy Qigong. You see what I'm saying? Because, like you said, the rhythm had me do 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 ding 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 ha ha. I was super Qigonging. You see what I mean? And about time I did about 3 minutes of that, it felt like I done played a full game of football, 45 carries as a running back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
45 carries. I'm talking about out of breath to the point where when I started to do it, 1 minute into it, I sucked all the air out of my house. Honest to God, I sucked all the air out of my house. And then the first thing the spirit says, you can't do Qigong inside.
Wow.
Went outside, and when I did it outside, and my nephew will verify, he did the same thing afterwards. Just like the karate movies show us. And you will verify this, and anybody else listening can verify this, who they did it. When I went outside and did it in nature with that breathing, I moved the trees this way, I moved the trees that way. You can tap into the wind once you get holy Qigong. I moved the trees that way, and I moved the trees that way. If I would have stuck into it and kept doing it more, I probably could have brought fire down like Elijah. I probably could have brought rain down like Yeshua and them. I probably could have stopped the storm like everybody else. Easy to do now that I'm starting to get this stuff. Time out for being scared of who we are. If all of them got, the Bible says, if you got a little bit of faith, you can move that mountain.
Right. Just a
Come
mustard.
on. What do you think they? Oh my goodness.
All you need is a mustard seed's worth. It's not much. You know what I mean? But if you have doubt, you're already severing your own power source. You're cutting your own power, right? And we're not a people of fear. We're not a people of doubt. So like you said, you recognize it. The outdoors has a lot of power, a lot of healing for us. But how many people are getting back? How many people are outdoors these days? Not too many. And coronavirus.
Oh my goodness, bro.
Coronavirus. In the word coronavirus, you hear the word corona, which means sun. And a lot of people saying vitamin D helps tremendously. Vitamin D, magnesium, vitamin E help tremendously overcome this thing. But one natural way to get stores of vitamin D is just if you have skin like our skin, this carbon skin body, you need about 57 minutes of sunshine to activate, those heavy vitamin D stores in you. But you're not going to get 57 minutes if you don't go out there, and just go to your car and come back, go to your job and come back, go to the store, come back. That's probably not going to be 57 minutes. So we're denying our own medicine, earth medicine, but coming from the heavens, just by shutting ourselves in the house all day. That's not our natural way.
Hey, who lives in Africa? Who lives in Florida? Who lives in Mexico that got a spot for me? I'm ready to come take a little quick vacation for a week and just live outside in nature where the sun at right now is about to be 55 in Georgia for the next month.
Yeah.
So they got some more. I need to get somewhere, man. Holla at me. Me and you supposed to already be gone, man. Remember I told you a month ago.
I know.
The Spirit said it a month ago. Now the Spirit is... now this conversation here, I'm finding out about the 24 all natural elders. I need to get somewhere where mountains at and go do what you did already. Tap in, you know what I mean? I need that. It'll be great. It's calling me anyway once you start, learning about who you are and learning about that we're made in the image of all of that. You see what I'm saying? And hey, that'd be nice, man. That'd be nice, man.
And that's what you read earlier, is that if we're made in the image, there must be a way we can control that energy. And that's what those names represent. All right. So if we need to pull those energies, you want to do Qigong next time, maybe look at that had the angel's name that had the wind in it. And maybe just spend a few minutes praying. Pray to the Most High, give you understanding, open up your nose, open up your body, and then you call that angel's name, and then do that qigong or that yoga, or just walking in your neighborhood, or whatever you enjoy, maybe gardening, whatever you enjoy, just do something outside and see if the experience doesn't change, because those are not things to be feared of. Those are things to come and support us, right? That's our magic. That's our power. That's what having dominion over the earth is all about.
You know what? You hit a nerve. You struck it. You was there with me. I kind of got scared, and it took me. And like Sister said, it's like you had dominion over the elements, over the environment for a moment. I guess I did. I kind of tapped in. I didn't know what I was. I knew I was. I felt the energy of tapping into the wind. I was getting lost in the sauce, breathing, and I got lost. And by the time I looked up, the trees was going with me, and I said, this can't be me. There was no wind blowing. The trees went that way, went back that. They went that way, and I saw it. I saw it in the karate movie, and they show you in all the different, qigong things that you can do that.
Yeah.
And it took me to Peter. Peter was able to tap into the elements for a while. Remember, he kind of walked on water. Moses moved the water. Elijah brought down fire.
When did he start to slip, though? He was walking on the water, but what entered his mind to make him slip?
Doubt.
There you go.
Doubt. See what I mean? And you know what? Same thing happened with me. When I doubted it was me doing it and kind of looked up like, he said, man, I should have kept doing it. Just stay, you know what I'm saying? Kept at it. You said, cause it was just the beginning. You know what I mean? Yeah. The faith, but I'm ready to tap. I'm ready to tap back into it. I'm ready to go back in it. And I know that now that the vibration is rising on this earth, I see why the government want everybody inside, because there's so much energy outside right now. The heavens is here, y'all. The angels is here, y'all. All those 24 elders, they here. They always been. But you got to understand that we was up under a 400-year prophecy, which got when you break it down, 400-year prophecy for one, 400-year galaxy sun cycle for two. So that means that the elements, if this is a true cycle, the 400-year prophecy, the 400-year sun cycle. So now we're up to 400 years. They said the Most High said, I'm going to turn my back for you from 400 years. So you, in a Hebrew, have to tell us what that means. You see what I mean? We can't listen to a religious person tell us what that means. What does that mean in Hebrew? If the Most High is a spirit, see, and he turned his face for 400. So that means that he controls the 24 elders. That's his babies. He turned them and blocked them from us for 400 years. He did something. You see what I mean? But now they're saying we're entering a new galaxy where all type of different sun rays and all the elders, everything. I get it now. It's hitting this age of Aquarius, I guess. You know, but that Bible said when you see that lady crowned with 12 stars, you see in all the moon at her feet, we're gonna. I guess that means that we're entering.
Yeah, she's the water bearer, meaning, I believe we're leaving the Piscean age, which is the age of the fishes. That's why they say Jesus was the fisher of men, right? Because that was that age of the Pisces, and the energy of Pisces is the revealer of secrets, right? And now Aquarius is about currency. That's what the water. She's a woman that's dropping this water down from heaven to the earth. It's currency, it's energies, it's electricity, it's chi. This is the new age. We're just on the forefront of what is coming, this new dispensation. But it's about the ages and how they move, right? And people have been so shook, Mobb Deep shook ones, like whoever they were talking about. That's what our people are. They're shook, scared to death, scared to look, but what they're shook.
Ooh, they scared to look. The Most High said, look up to me. Yeah. You see what I mean? Until the Most High, if he's up there and that's his face, and everybody know how to read her off the 12 stars in heaven, and even Joseph did it at 8, and everybody did it.
Yes.
He said, to the people that's made in my image,
come on,
seek my face, then they're gonna hear from heaven.
Come on.
See? Oh my goodness, we gotta keep bringing it out, man. And that's what's happening now. The government trying to spook people to get inside, cover their mouth, which is the Burwak. We gotta breathe. You gotta be like, we only got taught the 4 elements before in school. It's not, they put a Terry on it. Element elementary school. You see what I
Right.
mean? I put words together like you do. They always use what we already was and then add they stuff on the end to make it satanic. You see, or backwards or artificial.
Yeah.
Element school.
Yeah.
Element. That's what the 24 elders are. 24 different elements. You see what I'm saying? So they say, okay, these guys were masters of the element.
Yeah.
Lift it. See? So let's put a Terry on it. Elementary school. Terry mean to slow down.
Slow it down. Right.
See what I mean? Let's slow it down. So we're gonna take them from being master elements and put a Terry.
Yeah.
Elementary school. So
But
now
brother,
everybody,
so,
just
go ahead.
I was just freestyling. I don't know if that, you know what I mean? I'm just freestyling on that right there.
So what you just brought me to is then if you look at the elements, the old medicine said that you are fully healed when your elements are all in balance, right? So let me show you a little symbol that Christians utilize. You ever seen a Christian go like this? That's representative of the 4 elements: fire, water, air, earth. That's the cross. You are pinned to the cross, right? You're pinned to your cross. You have to take up your cross. You have to bear your cross, right? If you're worthy, you have to bear your cross. And that is when you understand how to activate the element of fire, the element in you, the element of water within you. You can call fire your speech, your ability to have speech. You can call water the blood and the fluids, sperm and the marrow and sweat and saliva and the urine. You can call that water. I don't care. You can call air the nerves, the nervous system, right? Everything, the cerebral spinal, the central nervous system, all that. That is the air, and then the earth is the flesh, the muscles, the ligaments, the tendons, the bones, all that's the earth, and when all 4 of these are in harmony, man, you're healed, right?
Hey man, you reading the prophecy that the Most High has revealed unto me, bro. I'm telling you, man, I got a book. I just told my mom, my wife, no, I couldn't sleep for about 3 full days, bro. I'm talking about not a lick, to the point where I was like, what in the world is this? You see what I mean? What in the world is this? So I couldn't sleep. I got scared. I just could not sleep. So I tried, I guess I did what Jonah did. I tried to get the whole bottle of wine. That ain't work. Still up. See what I mean? I, let me go get some. Let me go get some herb. That ain't work. So nothing works. I'm like, what in the world is going on with me? 3, 4 days can't sleep, and then all of a sudden, a pen came in my hand and a whole notebook. I just started writing, and basically the Most High downloaded vision. When I read that, then I could sleep. After I wrote that whole book, then he allowed my body to sleep. And when I woke up the next day, I had to start putting them pages together. And it was saying what you said right there. He said, I only want you to, with the 4 elements. He said, leave everything alone on earth. They putting poison in everything. Come with me. He said, come elements. The elements, man. He wanted me only to participate with the 24 elders that he said all natural everything. That's when I came up, start saying that all day long. Because he showed me, remember I showed you, he said, holy Qigong. He said, stop listening to them devils talking about Qigong. Holy Qigong. Because we allowed me to heal somebody without no medicine at all. It was all breathing techniques. We didn't use no medicine.
Yeah.
So everybody that talk, that's why they understand how Yahshua, a lot of times he used natural herbs and stuff like that to heal people. Sometimes he just came and put what they call what? Holy what on them. Huh?
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
So when you do Qigong and you find out you can come and put the holy Ruach in your body, which means breath in Hebrew,
Yes.
you touch somebody, you're a holy body, you presented your body holy and acceptable, which is our reasonable service. Then you can participate and do what they call laying on of the holy hands. That's why he said, the Most High showed me that, bro.
That's it. Because, in that place, you tap in and you become a transmitter. Because the Most High uses us as its vehicle, right? We're the vehicle. We're the Uber for the Most High. In its perfection, it comes through us to do work on, to do service, right? So our job is to get as clear and pure as possible. So, because it's not us that we don't do the healing. You know, you and I, we've talked about that. It's what moves through us that does the healing. But that healing can get interrupted if you're not pure. And the ancient way of healing was healing these 4 elements, which are mimicked as the 4 seasons, right? That 4 is holy, right? Because that 4 represents a square, which is 360 degrees, is 90-degree angles, right? That's 4. But that same 4 is found in the DNA, right? The letters of the DNA, there's only 4 letters that make up the whole genetic code. That's 4, right? So we have the 4 of the DNA, which is within us. We have the 4 seasons. We have 4 elements. Y'all getting the picture. You know, if you want to get in touch with your DNA, you have to know how to manipulate the elements, right? So that's how you can reprogram you from the inside without drugs, right? The medicines produce internally. That's why they call these Qigong yoga internal practices, right? But, you know, so that's, you know, I don't want to keep dwelling on people who, you know, because I've been attacked for teaching what I teach for a long time, but I reckon.
Bro, throw them seeds out there because, man, this is nice, man. You're all natural teaching here. All natural teaching here, man. This is what you know, we had milk for so long, we had religion for so long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not scared. I want to tap in and talk with some Indians who've been here and who knows all about the our ancient way, who never really settled to these settlers and stayed the original way. I'm not scared. Come on, y'all. Come on. If y'all doing some devil stuff, the spirit will tell me. I'm not scared, man. I don't care. I'll go to Africa where they don't speak no English. I'll go anywhere. I'm not scared. I know what that Rawak is, and I know what you got to do to get it.
Yes.
I don't care, man. It's only one language. It's called the Rawak. It's called the holy language, fire language. See? I know what you got to do to get mother to sit on you. See? I don't care what language you is. You know that.
Mm-hmm. You
know that. We can go anywhere on earth. That's what that government don't want us to know. Anywhere. And you got that Rawak on you is one language, that holy language. Oh man,
I've gone to other countries without a destination. I had like no place to sleep. I didn't know where I was going to sleep, but just going there with the free. I entered that free, and the people who respond to that vibration of the free. Oh, who are you? Oh, where are you staying? Oh, I got a place. I got somebody over here. Oh, I got this room over here very cheap. And I never worry. This whole earth is ours. It's ours. We don't need to fear. We don't need to be doubting. We just move.
No, you just said that spirit just lined me up.
Ancient man didn't have Airbnb. You know what I mean? They just stepped. And they knew that if they were connected, they would be provided for beautifully. Yeah.
Amen. Hallelujah. All praises to the Most High. You took me right. The Bible say, where the spirit of the Lord is, there's liberty. Mm-hmm. See? Mm-hmm. Liberty means free. You know that's how we operated back in the day when we got around people who had that right spirit. If they didn't have the Rawak free, we mastered. We went. A lot of people don't know me and my bro here back in high school. Went anywhere. I don't care if it's New York's anywhere.
Didn't matter.
State to state. Didn't matter. Didn't have no plans. When we got there, all things were provided.
Right.
See, we operated in the spirit of free because we know that good energy is going to recognize real. Yes. Anywhere. My goodness, man.
When you hear
amazing.
You see Bob Marley on stage and you see him just letting his locks out, moving and dancing. That's his free.
That's it.
The free spirit. You know, when you saw like LeBron James doing what he does or Michael Jordan doing what he does on the court, unscripted, that's the spirit of the free. There's a free in that. You know, a mother who can, the baby is underneath the car and the mother with one arm can pull up the car 2,000, 3,000 pounds, and with the other hand scoop up the baby safely into safety. That's the spirit of the free. We all are invested with that. How much we can tap into it, that's what we're talking about here. And that's, but that's when the vehicle, that's not the mother at her power. That's a godly energy. That's an angelic energy that enters her vehicle and is able to do these miracles. And as a priestly people, a godly nation, that's really what we're supposed to be about. Because that's how we held it down for thousands of years, before we fell. But if we fall, it's okay, because we just stumble, we'll crawl, we're going to get back up. And that's what we're seeing now. We're witnessing the uprising once again. But we got to be with the elements. Got to figure out the elements.
See how you say that? Got to figure out the elements. My brother Latrell puts it right up. Seek ye first the kingdom of Yah with all your heart and all your soul. See, the Bible say, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven and his righteousness, and all other things will be added. You see what I mean? So that's that. You see, you gotta seek ye first the kingdom of heaven. See how we just see. So not what man makes. Anything man makes is not. That's the kingdom of man and his creation. We said we want to seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and that's the 24 elders, the mountains. Yahshua and them went on top of that mountain. The rain, the fire that Elijah them pulled down, the rivers, anything natural. You see what I mean? The four elements.
That part the Red Sea, which is the bloodstream, right? And there's an energy that parts that and goes up the back into the brain, right? So we need to understand all these symbolisms, right? We need to be able to explore the mountaintops again. We need to be able to reestablish ourselves upon the throne and to look at God face to face, the pineal gland, right? Where we need to
pineal gland,
and that's really when we do that, we're in spirituality, right? And then all those religious books become open to you now, right? The hidden meanings become open. You're going to either, through conversations like these, you're going to catch wind, catch a contact buzz, contact free, or, of your own understanding through your own meditation, through your own study and showing yourself a workman approved, it's going to come to you. But it's going to come somehow, some way. It can't stop. It's an unstoppable force. If you're really seeking the truth will surely come. Knock and what?
Door shall be open. Seeking you shall find, knock and the door shall be open. He said, I give every man this water that they can drink freely. You see what I mean? But you have to clean out. My bro says here about the chakra being the endocrine system.
Yeah,
you see what I mean? We know that we got the 7 chakras, and all the time in that Bible, when you get into the spirit and them guys got them chakras cleaned out. Remember, he said, I look and I saw 7 golden candlesticks, 7 chakras shined up and on fire. You see what I mean? And man, this is deep. He also says here that the Ruach comes from the root word chakra. So they are disrupting our chakra by using mass to hinder proper breathing of the Ruach. No doubt about it, because if the Most High created our body to suck in pure air and exhale carbon dioxide, then why would we be? It's just like a car. You see what I mean? They created cars and planes and stuff like that off the human body. So the pure stuff and exhale is like a muffler. Why would you be breathing back in your muffler smoke?
You understand?
100%. Wow.
And then, like I said, there's no proof that those masks really stop. Yeah, they stop droplets, but nobody can say for sure if that's how viruses are attacking or addressing or entering the body. A virus doesn't want to kill the host. The virus is not stupid, because once the host is dead, if the virus affects you and you die, the virus dies too. It doesn't want that. The first operative of life is to live, to survive, to thrive. So the virus is not trying to kill people. It's trying to enter you and probably upload you with information. But the thing is, if you have too much crud in your body, right, from the way you're eating, or the way you've been emoting, thinking, your mentality is low, depressed, sad, angry, anxious, over worry, can't get no relaxation, no peace. That's the kind of environment a virus can over manipulate, and then it can be problematic. So one of the best, to me, protections is do your breathing practices. Even if it's just simply sitting down here, and just breathing for 5 or 10 minutes until you get really calm. Just work on inhalation, breathe in, breathe out, in and out through the nose. You get relaxed. And then through that relaxation, enter your prayers. They can be silent or they can be spoken aloud. And then after that, see if you can go outside and get some sunshine. Walk and touch and interact with the earth. And then cleanse up your diet. If you eat food and you get the itis afterwards, that food is not serving you. You have to ask the question, are you eating the food or is the food eating you? Your food should generate energy for you. Like when you're talking about your grandfather, that 117-year-old, I'm sure when he ate his food, that food was nourishing for him. Allowed him to do whatever he had to do down south, whether he's on the farm working or whatever he was doing. If your food makes you want to look for a couch and take a 25-minute nap afterwards, that food is not serving your best interests. You should dump it.
All facts. For the nourishment of the body, not for your body to be trying to overwork to push poison out. That's part of the vision he showed me too. He said, and I was in New York when he gave it to me. He said all the food that they buy selling out of Walmart is poison.
Oh man.
He said all of it, and I wrote it down. Man. And it was and it just lined up with the scripture when it said we're gonna return to the wilderness, untouched natural food. His food is good. Yeah. And when we heal, I come down south. I had plant my garden, all natural, everything. Yeah. And I thought I was so healthy, you know what I mean? Because, and when we first started changing our diet years ago, when they first started putting them herbs in the store, they was kind of real raw herbs. Now you're talking about 15 years later, everybody done caught on. Now they're juicing the greens and then drying the greens and giving you that in the herbal store. You just they're juicing stuff because now they found out that pure juices they're going to keep for themselves and they can make money off this awakening of people. So the Most High showed me that. As soon as I came down south, it got verified in my body. I grew my own herbs and greens, and when I ate those, way more vibrant and electricity power. I said, holy, that dude there, he's a master. Those 24 elders and everything that he used, the 12 cranium nerves, when you purify that and he want to download you visions, you see what I mean? Come on. The Bible said he downloaded a book to me. It was given to me. See, they downloading books to us. That's what he did to me. He downloaded a book.
Bro, we're all
authorized.
But we just got to get ourselves in that position to have that experience of that download. And that's what we're looking to do. We want to be eligible. We want to be qualified. You know what I mean? And that is shown through our lifestyle. Like you said, the mother has to recognize you. And once the mother signs you up, then the father can give what needs to be given. So, we need both sides of this thing. Man, I think you called the angels of the waters a little too hard for me. I'm about to use the restroom.
Yo.
I'm right back.
Woo!
The river.
Oh, man. Look. All praise to the Most High. All praise to the Most High. Hey, man, we got a herbal doctor here, y'all. Master, taking a quick break. But, if y'all got any questions, any kind of diseases, y'all want to know ways to heal it, we're going over it anyway. We're entering the highest dimension, the highest capabilities. So we got to tap into the 4 elements. It's nothing more greater than that. You know what I mean? Even me, I know how to heal just doing natural Daniel's diet and stuff like that. But if you want to keep coming up that ladder, now we're finding out about, tapping into the 4 elements. You see what I mean? Yahshua and them, I get it now. When they went on top of that mountain, I could see how they fast. They only lived off the elements, the 4 elements. Go up there, natural rainwater, natural mist, mountain water up there, sunlight where you get vitamin D and E from. You got natural winds, 4 winds and stuff like that. So we got to tap into that. These trees give out oxygen, pure oxygen. So, I mean, come on. This is just for the higher callings. All of our bodies are able to do this, but it's time to tap in, man. It's time to tap in, Wow, we all know that our body know this stuff too, man. Let me put this sign back up here, Ma. They can see this again. Because I'm gonna fall in love with these guys. I don't
Yep.
care. I spirit telling me he loves these people. Come on,
Yes, I mean,
man. They all
that
natural.
because I've never seen that before, but it's dope.
This is dope, man. Cause we always talked about the 24 elders. Everybody talk about that. You
Yeah.
enter the holy of holies, and the spirit been telling me that for all year this year, I've been telling you, I've been saying to you, I said the spirit. Whenever you go to Africa, let me know. I'm going with you.
Right.
All year, you was like, hey
Yeah.
man, I'm about to go to Mexico.
If Nigeria wasn't wilding, I'd say let's go. Because I mean, we got land, we got a house there, 9 bedrooms. You know what I'm saying? Like we got everything. We got cooks. We don't have to worry about a thing when we go back there. We got drivers, you know. So we don't gotta worry about we live like kings, you know, and that's how we're supposed to do. And the food is like you wouldn't believe, it's so plush, nutrients galore. The earth is red, so it has a lot of iron naturally. So food is already tapping into a lot of iron inside of it. When you put it inside your body, it restores your spleen, restores your stomach, restores the blood flow, and then everything starts to come from that because iron is the only magnetic element of the whole table of elements, right? Everything else is electric. Only one that's magnetic is the iron mineral. And there's a lot of, whenever you see red earth, like Nigeria, Ghana, Senegal, those are red earth places. That's iron rich places, right? And that's really what we're all about. So
bring it out.
that's,
Let me try to grab this picture real quick.
that's what it is, man. That's what it is. So if Nigeria wasn't wilding like it is now, I'd be back there right now, regenerating. But we don't have to go to like a place with red earth. You can bring the red earth to you. So if folks need iron, I just brought some kind of representatives. Y'all can see this. This is dandelion root, right? So herbally, you can easily make a tea from this root. And that would be one way that you can restore your own nutrition, your iron, as well as that this is a diuretic. It cleanses the liver. Um, and it's something that's very useful because the liver is what takes care of the toxins in the environment, takes them out of our body. So you want to have the iron-rich things like the burdock root, dandelion root, something called chaparral, something called milk thistle. These are all liver herbs, hepatics that can help to cleanse the liver and take toxins out of your bloodstream that you're storing at night, pull them out your body, right? Another thing, my brother loves to talk about the upper room and things of that nature. So this is one herb for the upper room. We call it ginkgo leaf, ginkgo biloba, right? Biloba. And this leaf is something that fires up the pineal gland. So you heard people talk about calcified pineals, meaning their pineal gland should be fluid. Those glands that the brother talked about, endocrine glands, should be having secretions. But if it's calcified, that water, the secretions, the fluids in the pineal are not coming out. They get arrested, right? So if you want to like help them break free, remove them from the bondage, then you have to bring nutrition. So what I'm suggesting, you could have dandelion root, burdock root, mixed with the ginkgo as a tea, and that will help you to bring energy up to the brain. So anybody who's having memory loss, headaches, any problems with the senses, the eyes, the ears, smelling, with coronavirus, people, generally one of the first symptoms you notice, one of the main symptoms you notice is loss of smell, loss of taste, right? So you want to make sure that this area, this mountaintop, this throne area, is protected. And that's what these herbs are delivering. Then you could take seeds, like we were speaking of earlier, like hemp seeds or black sesame seeds, right? And the reason I love seeds or pumpkins, right? Pumpkin seeds. The reason I love seeds, we're just talking about natural medicine today, stuff you can find in the kitchen or in your yard or somewhere in your environment, your locality, your herb shops. The reason I like seeds so much because seeds carry a lot of potential in the body, right? They carry a lot of potential for the body to heal. Because from a small seed, a whole forest is contained, right? from one little tree. One little seed can form a tree, and that tree can drop things to the ground that can create other trees. So there's a lot of potential energy in seeds. So if you ever like really needs powerhouses inside of you to do major work, you want to turn to the seeds of nature, you know. So that's a very, very powerful source of energy. And then, you know, as the winter season comes, when you really understand how medicine works in the cosmos and the four seasons, in the winter, the energy of the heaven and earth returns to the ground via the seeds. So the seeds will be your powerhouses of energy in the winter months. So in the winter season, you should eat a couple handfuls of seeds per meal, you know, and various seeds. Have in one meal have pumpkin seeds, the next meal have black sesame seeds or white sesame seeds. The next meal can have hemp seeds, whatever seeds you can find. That's going to be your medicine.
And I'm in Georgia right now, Alabama, pretty much the South. Pecans drop right out the tree and hit you on the head and tell you to eat them. So people got no excuse. That's why when I first come down here, I don't see how people could be sick. Cause this down south, I mean, you got medicine grow right in your backyard everywhere. Magnolia trees. I mean, you got huge berry with seeds. You got, I mean, everything down here, man. It's
Yeah.
so beautiful, man.
You got the peaches. Got those peaches. I mean, I know
they give them away down here.
Yeah.
Big giant watermelons with seeds. I've sent so many of them up to my dad and my mom. Sent them pecans, everything. It's down here everywhere, man. Everywhere. But our people, they got money and they want Popeye's chicken.
Yeah.
They hoodooed the South because when New York always been like that. When we used to come down south, they never had none of these stores. It was always home cooking.
Yeah.
All the home cooking. Now nobody even know how to do home cooking.
Right. Right.
So I don't see how the whole earth changed down here so quick. Quick, man.
Arming.
They did some hoodoo.
And we the garden, right? We used to garden for our foods. You know, like people couldn't rely on these stores, so they had to know how to grow from the earth direct, and then they would take that fruit and preserve it somehow, right? They would can it up, you know what I mean, and for the winter they'd be good off their own handiwork, you know. But that's why they didn't have the diseases. I was reading a book, I have it right over there. The sister named what's her name? Courtney? No, I don't remember her name right now. It'll come back to me, Miss Lee. But I met her here in DC, and she did research on the South, where for 10 years she was doing research on the South, and she went back to she found like these very old women who have the medicine culture of the South, right? Alabama, Mississippi. So she was studying with them for 10 years. And if you read, she like asked them, when you were growing up, what was life like? She said, there'd be so many people. So many times I'm reading the same kind of idea. Oh, we never had anyone sick in our family, right? We never had anyone sick. Maybe people might catch a cold here and there, but we would just go to the backyard or go to the garden, or mama or grandmama would tell us to go to pick up this tree, make it into a tea, and that sickness would be gone, right? But there was just a whole different thing.
Do you think it's the money? Because the Bible says it's going to be hard for a person that put faith in money to enter the kingdom. The kingdom is within. Our people so materialistic that they're looking for some material kingdom, not knowing that the kingdom is within.
Yeah.
Power is within to pull down the power of the kingdom. And they just so interested in their money. Like a guy told me one time, he had a church pastor, he's 400 pounds. He said, you're just mad because you don't have the money to buy pork steak every day. You see what I'm saying? Hey, the reason I preach this because I don't have the money to buy pork steak every day. and be 400 pounds. You got other men walk up to him, right, and rub him on his stomach. He's got every disease in the earth. As soon as another man come rub him on his stomach and say, "Ooh, you living good," see that he gets a kick out of that. Another man. This is the game that these big TD Pastor pork chops play. They eat all the pork in the world, gain 400 pounds, get a belly. Then that's supposed to make people look at him and say, "Oh, he's living good."
because he's defiled and got every disease on earth, sugar, high blood pressure, and pork and all that, and you look at him as something, these people barely can move. And
Yeah.
I'm mad, and so people, is it the, hey, I got money, I can go buy pork steak every day, I can buy lobster, all that stuff hurting them.
Right. It's hurting
I
them.
don't even know we got the money to do any of that stuff if we wanted to.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And it's not even about that. You can't humble yourself down and return back to nature. Then, like you just said, nobody ever was sick.
Yeah, they weren't sick, at least, and that's not going too far back in time. These are women who are probably like in their 70s and 80s she was interviewing. So that will put us at, say, the year 2000 and, 1940s, 1950s, right? 1940s, 1950 time period in the South here. She was saying it was rare that people had sicknesses. They weren't going to hospitals. They weren't doing none of that. They took care of business in the home, which is a far cry of what you see today. Because when you look at today, sickness is rampant, right? All those diseases, like you said, high blood pressure, all these things are rampant, but it's our diet that's got us in the predicament we're in. Mainly, you can't blame anyone else but the diet, and we do that to ourselves. So, you know.
Wow. What should we tell, man? Amen. Hallelujah to that, man. Now people are listening. You see what I mean? And I think the best teacher is your body. You see what I mean? And sometimes it take a lot of people to die first, and you see a lot of people, go through those pains, and it's truth too. And now, when I just left my family house, so many of my nephews and so many of my nieces, they all were doing fasts. I'm talking about they always talking about, yo, I'm not eating no more meat, no more nothing. And they did a 3 day no meat uh, fast. That should be the challenge. Do a no
Yeah,
meat challenge. Do a no
yeah.
pork challenge.
Really,
Do a no poison challenge.
no French
Those
fries,
no
no
French.
McDonald's fries,
You see what I mean? A no Popeye challenge. Those should be the challenges, man.
Word up.
A all earth challenge. You see what I
Yeah.
mean? Return to your natural way challenge.
Let's
You see
start
what
it.
I
Let's
mean?
start
Let's
it.
start it. Yeah, we're
Let's
gonna
start
start it.
it.
I'm throwing it out there. We're gonna definitely start it. And when I went down there, you know, all my nieces and nephews, could everybody hear me? All
Your
my
your mic is a little low.
a little low. Okay, let me check it out real quick. Okay, there we go.
It got better.
Yeah, it's much better.
Okay,
Thank
my bad. Wow. Thank you there, sister.
you. Yeah.
Um, you know, what happened there was what I was just saying right there. Threw me off real quick.
We're talking about
But
fat starting the challenge.
starting that challenge. And I just what should we say to all the people, that's starting to change their diet? Because not only all my nieces and nephews, I'm talking about 5 of them. My sister said something told her she only can eat salads now.
Mm,
My mom, oh my goodness, I love my mom. Hallelujah, man. Because she was so hard on that, it had us all. You know what I mean? It was only pork, only this, only that.
yeah.
Now I went back over there. This was a great pandemic because
Mm,
she got a chance to see the poison and sit down and see a lot of this truth come out. I go over there now, and now she returned back to her culture. Remember, we went to that Ethiopian restaurant, and they had all those different type of beans and different type of spices and greens and stuff like that. That's
right.
all mom cooked now. I went over there Sunday to spend the day with her.
Yeah.
I'm just now getting back a week later. See what I
Uh,
mean? Had the best time on earth, man. Best
yeah.
time on earth, man. She's so woke up into the truth. She's on fire now. See,
Yeah.
I'm talking about every day. Not no more religion waiting for a Sunday. Fire every single day. Fresh yams in her house. She made sweet potato pies every single day. Collard greens out the garden. I'm
Yeah.
talking about. Oh my goodness, she had ginger root already. She had turmeric root. She watched those different shows and just all the Most High just put. So we speaking nothing but truth, but sometimes we just can plant the seed, then it
Yeah.
takes somebody else to come water what somebody else done planted. We
Oh,
can't do it all, y'all. Stop trying to do it all. Plant the seed, keep moving. Let somebody else water it. Come back, check on them. You see the fruit.
yes.
Enjoy the fruit that they give you, and
Yes.
just love it. Some people we get stuck and got to return, man, back to mother, point blank, period. I don't care how much hate or how much type of back and forth y'all was at because light and dark mix. You rose up into the light, they still was in a little dark. go back and return, man. Get that mixes because it's nothing but love, period.
That's
You
it.
see what I mean? It's nothing but love, period. And oh my goodness, they all, what should we say to them? Because they did the 3-day fast. And I told them, I said, okay, last time I did that fast, way back in the day, I remember urges hit me because they don't know something of them parasites and stuff. Once you don't give them their sugar and they meat, and that's the way you ate for years, pork, they know how to send a signal and say, come get me pork chop.
Right.
Come get me pizza. Come get me cupcake. You see what I'm saying? And you know, I told him, you know, you got to learn how to take some tomato sauce and blend it in some cayenne peppers and some oregano and basil and some turmeric, ginger, and trying to drink that down so it can flush those parasites out of there. And do a little jog to help speed it up.
Yeah.
You know, anything else?
That's like how the master, you know, God rest his soul, Dr. Sebi, he was on it, man. You know, he was on it. And, you know, one of his top remedies was the sea moss, you know, and the bladderwrack. A lot of people forget the bladderwrack behind it. Bladderwrack, BLADDERWRACK. Bladderwrack with sea moss combined provides a whole lot of minerals to the body. And when you're very well nourished, the urges and the cravings come down, right? They calm all the way down. But if you're not fully nourished, your body's gonna yearn and it's gonna desire, and it's gonna throw those messages up into your brain. You know what I mean? Like you were saying, and yeah, those urges can come rolling back. Be like, oh, I'll just eat a little piece of this pizza. I might just get me a little piece of that cupcake, and before you know, you're binging out. You know, laying on your back, ready to go to sleep with the itis again. You know, the food's eating you. So we gotta like introduce healthier ways of, you know, powering up the body. So I mean, if you're gonna fast, like you said, the fasting and praying is key. And the activities you associate with that fasting and praying. So you want to do something to strengthen your breathing, right? You want to watch what you're putting in your mouth. I'm talking all the senses here. You want to cut off watching TV at night, enter prayer, enter meditation, go for walks, do something different. You want to, all that music that's really not, maybe you start making your own music, start chanting to those angels, bring that into, I mean, this is praying and fasting now. You know what I'm saying? All your senses, send them some different stimuli, get them off that program and enter them a new program. You got to shake that devil off, you know, with a new program and all natural. And that would be something different. If your eyes, you may want to start visualizing new things, visualize a new pathway, visualize success for you, your family, your community, everybody rising up. All of this now, you see? So now you're programming your spirit in a natural way, in a natural manner. And when you have all those inputs coming in, man, there's no way anything can hold you down. You're a god. You're a goddess. There's no way. No, you're not. That all you are gods. You know? Come on, man.
Hallelujah.
Hey.
New look at this new all nature program. That's what we call it.
That's it.
We're gonna, you know, all natural everything, all natural way.
Right.
The Bible says it's gonna be called the way of holiness. Anything he created is holy.
Yes.
So go ahead, tap into things that he created.
Yes.
Sister said here, can we please post some mixtures for removal of parasites? You know, everybody got their pet peeves. I got two that I found out. One, like if anybody taking an antibiotic, I get the natural antibiotic from nature that I found out is these four here. You can post it now. It's turmeric root, ginger root, garlic, and cayenne pepper. Get those four there. You combine those four together, and that combination is supposed to be 20 times more powerful than penicillin. So when I had a bunch of people who had strep throat and stuff like that, my sister, she had it. I gave her a mix of that. It cleaned her out within a day. Wow. You see what I mean? So I know that combination there of turmeric root, ginger root, garlic, and cayenne pepper, nasty. It's 20 times more powerful than penicillin. That's one that somebody taught me and I use. Here's another one that I found out on my own. It's pretty much the same thing. It's pretty much the same thing. I just add tomato juice to it to make it base and more drinkable and suitable. That's all. Pretty much the same thing. I kind of use different peppers. I kind of found out about the Mexicans down here, and they had 5, 10, 20 different types of peppers. So I went in there and got like these tomato peppers. I guess they cherry bomb tomato peppers. Oh my goodness. You get you some of those and mix them with tomato juice, some jalapenos, enough tomatoes where I almost didn't really feel it. So I came with I juiced the lemon. I juiced the lemon, lime. I know Dr. Sabi says certain things about certain things, but I'm just got to tell y'all what works. You see what I mean?
Yes.
I took a lemon. If you don't, they say don't use lemon. Some people will go with the lime, but I did lemon, lemon, lime, tomatoes, and then the cayenne peppers and jalapeno peppers and stuff like that. And that bodied it too with some ginger root. That took it out too. You know what I mean? So, you can kind of play with it too. You know what I mean? And see what it does for your body. You see, try different little mixes. But
That's it.
that garlic, that cayenne pepper, and them turmeric root and them hot little spices, they body that parasites. They body them, y'all.
But Armageddon to it. You brought the Armageddon.
Woo! With swords and helmets.
So that's what it is. So I have a lot of herbal formulas, right? For parasites. I mean, you can use herbs. I use herbs. I use also essential oils for those. But man, we're just gonna bring it to the basic, easy, right? Easy. All you can do, like I said, you can just do natural foods, right? So one major cleanser that we have available to us, I'll give two, are kiwis. You know that kiwi fruit? Little kiwis, and it has a lot of seeds inside. That is something that's a major cleanser for the body. It removes gunk from the whole body, right? So you might just go on a fast, just pure kiwis, right? And warm water. Pure kiwi for a day or two. You can live. You're not going to go nowhere. Trust me. 2 or 3 days of kiwis, you're not going to go nowhere. But what you're going to do is going to relax the body. It's going to be very easy to digest. And that kiwi has a way of trapping things that don't belong in your body and pulling it out through your elimination system. So kiwi is something possible you can use as a fruit. Another fruit, I know they call it vegetable, but it's really a fruit, is okra, right? You can cook your okra, maybe lightly steam it, or a light boil, and eat that okra down. That sliminess of the okra, again, it pulls matter, pulls material, pulls things that don't belong to your body. It pulls it out for elimination. A lot of people don't like okra, but okra is a major thing for parasites. So if people are really concerned about parasites, your okra, your kiwi would be two natural ways using the earth that you can bring medicine from the food to deal with the parasitic thing that you got going on. And if you think about parasites from maybe a metaphysical perspective, anything that's a parasite is something that you're trying to kick the habit of and you can't seem to let it go, right? Pornography is a parasite, right? Alcohol is a parasite. Marijuana or any drugs, I know marijuana is a herb, but if you smoke it, it becomes a drug. That's a parasite. Being too much out of control for particular foods, that's a parasite. All right. So all these are parasitic things, not just the ones that they've told us, but these are like other parasites. And then you need to get rid of those. Another way that people used to remove parasites was they'll burn things around their body like fumigation. So there's something called mugwort, clove. Yeah. Okay, what you got there, bro?
Check this out. My nephew put me under these. When I looked it up on YouTube, these are called Osage orange. See, Osage orange. They grow in Alabama and Georgia. I didn't see them in Georgia yet, but the computer said they did. But I just went over to Alabama, a couple hours away, and these was in my nephew's wife backyard,
Wow.
growing on a tree.
Wow.
And he had already told me a month ago, I got something that cures cancer. And when he showed me it, I thought it was I thought this was what do they call that? It's another fruit, that jackfruit maybe. It kind of looked like this, a little bigger, but this here is an Osage orange. You can look it up on YouTube
How you
and
spell that?
Google Osage.
Okay.
Osage, maybe it's in Hebrew, Osage orange. Because every time I looked it up, they say the ancient Indians used this to cure cancer and all this and that. So I'm saying, okay, they talking about us. It's growing in our backyard. You see what I mean? Or the Indians too. Anybody from nature. But I juiced it. I juiced this thing here. Oh my God! When you open it up, full of seeds, like the Most High says that. There it is, right there. Osage orange here. See? Osage orange. That's it there. Okay. And I'm telling you, I got to use it first so I can tell you what to do.
Right.
I'm gonna listen to that computer.
Right.
I do. You know what I'm saying? And it was pretty much on funk. They pretty much use it for cancer and stuff like that. Cancer, skin, and like skin viruses and stuff like that. Cancer and skin. Yeah. So one thing I learned was that when you're a person that don't have cancer and you're in pretty good shape, and you take the things that's powerful for cancer for other people, it just gives you a better enlightenment and energy, and it can go focus on other things. You see what I mean? Or hitting calcified glands. You see, maybe we don't have cancer, but there's something calcified somewhere that we didn't know.
Yes.
And I found that out about this here.
Yeah.
That's because we imperfect.
Oh, I think the brother was hitting on some truths a little bit heavy, and they pulled the plug on him. But I'm just gonna jump on top of what he's saying. Any fruit essentially can do that kind of. All these fruits have that kind of power within them to do these things, And if you're dealing with parasites, you want to deal with the peels of the fruits. You can make a tea from just like that Osage, whatever peel, or any orange peel, citrus peel, whether it's lemon or lime or orange or tangerine, grapefruit. Any of those peels, you can take the peels and make a tea of those and drink that produce, drink the liquid of that, and that would be a good anti-parasitic cleanser. And you would drink that several times in the day, because if you're cleansing, you want to urinate, because you have to give an outlet. You have to have an outlet for things to leave. You can't just eat something and keep it inside you. You have to, defecate, urinate, sweat that parasite out of you. You can't just keep it in. So you have to drink a lot of waters. You may take something called a diuretic, like juniper berries, add that to the tea. Juniper berries helps to make sure that the channels of elimination are open. If you want to defecate something out, you can add rhubarb, 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 or senna, or cascara sagrada, right? Just look at, these are herbs that help people with constipation. You can add some constipation. You can forget what I'm saying. Just look at an herb book and say, what herb helps me with constipation? And add that to your tea, right? What herb helps me with urination? Add that to the tea. What herb helps me to sweat? Add that to the tea, right? And now you have the ways that the body can get rid of the parasites, right? It's not just about kind of killing them off, but you have to get rid of them. And these are ways that herbalists utilize to help somebody to get rid of substances that are trapped and gunked and filled up in their bodies. So, I don't know if I'm still connected to folks here, or if I'm just talking to myself. If you're there, just say something in the chat, or else I'm gonna jump off too. I'd have to be talking to myself. Let me see. Oh, I don't see anyone talking or writing. If anyone's out there, just say yes, or just write yes in the chat. Just let me know I'm not just speaking to myself. They got my brother, man. All right, y'all. Well, if that's it. We'll be back on Sunday next. Peace.